We're seeing a shortage of 14 cancer drugs right now, some of them really the cornerstones of cancer care in America, affecting as many as 100,000 or more patients. There are a couple of drugs that are in pretty severe shortage, particularly two platinum-related drugs, cisplatin and carboplatin. And these drugs are kind of the mainstay of a lot of cancer therapies, particularly gynecologic cancers, cancers that disproportionately affect women. The cisplatin shortage started in February. What's happening now is it's starting to hit patients where a patient might typically get 6 bags of a chemotherapy drug. Now they're told, well, studies show that 5 is enough, so we'll give you 5. Doctors are worried that if they can't give a full dose, that their patients will suffer, will not recover as quickly, won't live as long, won't get as much benefit from the drug. A lot of it goes back to raw material suppliers. There was one that was shut down in India months ago, but because everybody uses the same suppliers, and so when one goes down, it affects all of the manufacturers. So it's basically a supply chain issue. It's also a communication issue where hospitals in the US probably didn't know about that one raw material supplier shutting down, and so couldn't plan for this and couldn't start, cutting back a little bit earlier or being more cautious. So there are a lot of suggestions on the table, many of which involve Congress passing laws requiring more information sharing across the supply chain so people can at least be aware when these shortages are coming, and also maybe creating a national stockpile of these really essential drugs. The hope is that we may be through the worst of it or coming to the end of the worst of it, but we live under a very vulnerable system. I think that's what this shows more broadly, is that we're all vulnerable to these kinds of shortcomings, and probably the whole system needs to be reconsidered and fixed.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.